Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Force here with another deck spotlight. Today we will be taking a look at Kripp Fat Pally deck. The deck relies on some very strong late to mid game cards and just trying to survive the early game using spells like Truesilver Champion and Consecration. It makes great use of the battlecry mechanic thanks to the Youthful Brewmaster, coupling that with a card like Guardian of Kings to get that extra life gain, and then just some of the late game beefy cards like Ysera and Tirion Fordring. Now that we've got the basic concept out of the way, let's go ahead and take a look at the deck in action. So this deck has such a strong mid to late game, as you can see by just these couple of cards here, that it's really, your opening hand is all about trying to survive the early to mid game. And unfortunately these cards don't do much of that for me, so I'm actually going to get rid of this entire opening hand. You could argue to keep the Youthful Brewmaster, but I don't know what else I'm going to draw into, so it could be useless. And Youthful Brewmaster, from what I've playtested, has been mostly effective during the late game to bounce back one of your big creatures with Battlecry. And I actually just drew into one of the primary sources of surviving the early and mid game, which is the Truesilver Champion. The other one is Consecration. Obviously, this can help with that as well. Argent Protector, Defender of Argus, very, very good for helping you survive the early game. And he actually has some crazy early game stuff here. We're gonna go ahead and open up with the Acidic Ooze. This is because, you know, I'm playing against a priest. Weapons aren't a concern against a priest, as they are against pretty much anyone else, and actually he does end up popping it off, unfortunately. But you know what, we're just gonna take a little bit of damage here until we can Truesilver Champion, at which point we're gonna be able to get rid of this Northshire Cleric, which will be good. Now, I could play the Reinforced Hero right now, but then I pretty much give him a card because he will attack into it and then heal this guy up, which will give him an extra card. So I'm not gonna play the Reinforced Hero. For that reason. That was my thought process there. And we've got a couple of cards to deal with the early mid game. The Consecration again is the other one. At least the two big cards. There's a multitude of creatures like I mentioned. The Shattered Sun Cleric helps, Defender of Argus, all those sorts of things. Let's see what he's gonna coin into for 4. A Light Spawn, okay. So we will be taking quite a bit of damage here early on. But we're just gonna stay patient because his, look how empty his hand is now. We're not gonna give him the benefit of the card draw from this guy. Take him out right away. Ended up with a net life gain of 1 there because of the 2 life gain plus the 1 hit that we took from the 1/3. And next turn, if he plays, especially if he plays another small creature, next turn will definitely be a great opportunity to consecrate. Oh boy, that is terrifying. Look at that. Look at that, very painful.
Put this apple on your head.
Yikes. Yikes, yikes, yikes. Very, very painful. All right. Well, we can kill that with this, which is beautiful. And that will be the game plan. Kill him. It's a big game hunter. Used for exactly that sort of a situation, those sorts of threats. And I'm actually also right now going to go with Argent Protector to save him. And then we're going to kill this guy. The Knife Juggler. And even though we're at 15 health, I still think we're in a pretty good position. We've got the Blessing of Kings, which could potentially go on this thing next turn, especially if he doesn't deal with the shield. Still have a Youthful Brewmaster to bounce back that and play it again. Oh, never mind. He gets rid of that guy. Well, there go those plans, but still. I'm still feeling pretty comfortable. Right around turn 6 and 7 is when things really start to swing in this deck's favor. So, again, you can see how terrible his hand is right now with only 2 cards in it. And we have options, and that's the big thing. We have got plenty of options here. One of which is Shattered Sun Cleric. Bam. And then we are going to reinforce and hit for 3. Okay. Tirion Fordring will be coming down in 2 turns. Still have the opportunity to Brewmaster, which we could do on the Shattered Sun Cleric to play it again and pump him up even further. We could also go for a lot of damage next turn. Or if he plays a big creature, we can use a Blessing of Kings plus a creature to pick off whatever it is. He's gonna Mind Vision, put a copy of a random card in my hand into his hand. We'll see what he ends up getting. That's actually really scary. I hope he got a Youthful Brewmaster. Anything else could be potentially pretty scary. There's a Holy Nova. So this is an especially good time to bounce back. So what I'm thinking is we go like this. We bounce it back. We then play it again.
We must cleanse the Sunwell.
And then we play this to protect him. And then we hit for 4. So that's one way you can utilize the Youthful Brewmaster. I mean, that's the primary purpose, is to bounce back, you know, to bounce back things with Battlecry, to play them again, to make them doubly useful.
Change your mind.
He's going to take control of the 2/2. He'll probably swing into the Divine Shield with that. Oh, he decides not to. Okay. We've got the Defender of Argus. That's actually pretty huge. Or we could just go with him right now. We've got 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Plus 4, 14, plus 2. That's not enough to kill him. So I'm going to go with him.
Put your faith in the light.
And then we will actually, I'm going to pick off his stuff here.
Push forward.
This is my responsibility.
So that he can't just attack into this and pop off the shield, making this so much more useful.
Put your faith in
Looks
the
like that is the card that he ended up copying.
My apologies.
Oh, it's fine. That thing's gonna die. Don't worry. You don't need to apologize. Okay. Let's take a look here. Best way for me to do this. Pop off the shield and then just attack into it with that, I think would work. We could also drop the shield with Consecrate. And then let me actually do this. Here we go.
Push forward.
Ready? I'm gonna go like that. We are going to then yeah, Defender
Shield for Argent.
plus, let's go with the Blessing of Kings. Kill him. Hit him in the face. There we go. There we go. Another option would have been to Peacekeeper at his guy, but then I wouldn't have gotten the kill with this one as well, so. We're gonna be able to easily walk through that. I'm guessing he's not attacking into the 9/1 here. Well, he's either taking 9 or 7 right now. It's up to him. I'm saying if he decides to attack with his Ashbringer that he got from his copied Tirion Fordring. So probably neither one of those. Yeah, there you go. There you go. We have another Defender. We can change an attack to 1. Consecrate. I'm actually gonna save this. Let me get rid of that. Let me get rid of that. I should have played this first. It was, yeah, I could have saved. I could have saved my taunt there, but oh well. Oh well, it is what it is. Then I'm gonna play this. I could have saved him by, yeah. I could have saved him by Peacekeepering the Shield Master and then pumping him up. But, well, the guy I had before, not this guy. But oh well, it is what it is. We're still going to win, even with that slight misplay. Pyromancer, he's gonna pop it with something here. Power Word Shield. It's 1 damage across the board, which is fine by me. He gets a light spawn. We've got 8, 9, 10, 11. We have fatal damage. Yeah, we have fatal damage. So he's done. That is the game. It's either he's learning that right now and deciding to leave, or that's that. But there you go. I guess that was a pretty good look at the deck. Again, trying to utilize your different early game survival cards, such as the sword, as well as the Consecration, some of your early game creatures. He's really trying to figure this out, huh? The Truesilver Champion, as well as the Consecration, some of your early game creatures. Defender of Argus is also especially effective at keeping you alive in the early game. And then once you get to the mid to late game, this deck's looking pretty good. All right, let's go ahead and wrap things up by taking a look at the deck list. All right, let's go ahead and now go over the cards here in Kripp's Fat Pally deck, starting off with 2 Acidic Swamp Oozes, not only a decent early game creature in it being a 3/2, but also very effective against any opponents with weapons. The Argent Protector to protect your late game big beefy creatures, or your early game creatures to help you deal with that early swarm. Youthful Brewmaster, incredibly effective in this deck given the so many Battlecry creatures that you have. Very, very strong. Aldor Peacekeeper to help you deal with very threatening creatures in the early to mid game. Same thing there with a big game Hunter. You saw last game how effective that was. Shattered Sun Cleric, nice early game creature plus a nice pump up. Truesilver Champion, helping you stay alive. Blessing of Kings, just so useful, either for picking off creatures, for pushing through extra damage, for letting your creatures survive in situations where they otherwise wouldn't. Consecration to deal with the early game, excuse me. Also have the Dark Iron Dwarf here. It's a nice 4/4, also pumps up other creatures, allowing you to pick things off or deal that extra damage. Defender of Argus, very, very crucial in keeping you alive in the early game with that taunt on either your summoned minions from your hero power or just any of the creatures you have in play. We have got the Spellbreaker for silencing an opposing threatening minion, the Faceless Manipulator ×2 to copy either one of your strong minions or an opponent's. And then now just some of the late game crazy cards like the Cairne Bloodhoof, a nice 4/5 that comes back as a 4/5. A 5/6 in the Guardian of Kings that also restores 6 health. This in conjunction with the Youthful Brewmaster can be very strong. Tirion Fordring, just an amazing card. Alextrasz, I actually put this in the deck. I think Kripp had a Ragnaros. I decided to go with this instead because if you don't manage to get much damage through in the mid game, I feel like this can be very strong for instantly popping your opponent down to 15. Or on the other hand, if you were taking a lot of damage and you're getting in a really low spot, you can drop this down to bring you up to 15. And then lastly, the Ysera, just a crazy card with 12 health, 4 damage, but the big thing is you get a dream card at the end of your turn. So if you play this, you're guaranteed a dream card at the end of your turn. And those dream cards can be very, very strong. All right, guys, thanks so much for watching. This has been a look at Kripp's Fat Pally deck. Again, the only exception to his deck list is that I have the Alextrasz instead of the Ragnaros. There you go. Thanks so much for watching. If you like the content, please subscribe. And as always, keep watching and keep owning.